Hi, boys and girls. I want to take you on an adventure. Do you like adventures? I love adventures. And today's adventure is on the high seas. You see, today's adventure is all about a trip with the pirate, the Dread Pirate Jones. You see, the dead pirate Jones is searching for the greatest treasure, the greatest pirate treasure to ever be found. The greatest pirate treasure to ever be stolen. It's the booty beyond booties. You see, this treasure was stolen by none other than Blackbeard himself. You see, the Dread Pirate Jones has been searching everywhere for this booty. He knows that if he finds this treasure, it will make him the rich. All of his dreams will come true if he can find this treasure. Well, while navigating the seven seas, going from port to port to port to port, he finally came into one port where he found a merchant. That merchant was selling antiques and artifacts from all over the world, and he just so happened to have a map. Well, the Dread Pirate Jones got that map, and he took it back to his galleon. He went back to the galleon and gathered up all his men. They gathered around and they looked at the map. They all began to look at it, and they began to look at each other, and they looked at the map, and they looked at each other, and one of them finally said, "Arr, any of you know how to read?" Well, turns out none of the pirates knew how to read except for one young man that they had swabbing the deck. They got him in there and they said, "Can you read the map? We do not see the X on the map. Where is the X on the map?" Well, he began to look at the map and he said, "Oh, there's your problem there, Captain. Your problem is you cannot see the X, for it is an enchanted map. It says right here, only a mermaid's tear will reveal that which is unseen." You see, a pirate needs to put a tear from a mermaid onto the map, and then it will reveal the secret. Well, none of those pirates knew where any mermaids lived. They only knew that some places on the map it says things like, "There be dragons." But nowhere had they seen a pirate map that said, "There be mermaids." Well, one of them happened to say, "Captain, I know where there be mermaids. There be mermaids in the Wiki-Watchy Swamp. If we go to the Wiki-Watchy Swamp, we'll find us mermaids." So all of them gathered around. They got on the ship and they raised the sails, and up went the flag, and off they sailed to the Wiki-Watchy Swamps. There at the Wiki-Watchy Swamps, you know what they found? On a big rock sticking out of the sea, sitting up there sunbathing, was the most beautiful thing they had ever seen. That's right, it was a mermaid. She was up there singing with her beautiful voice. And all of them plugged their ears because they knew that the sound of a mermaid could drive a sailor to jump into the sea and drown. Well, they all got out their harpoons and they got out their nets and they threw the harpoons and they threw the nets, and sure enough, they captured that mermaid. They tied her up and they took her down and they placed her into the bowels of the ship, down into the cell. They put her. Now, there was only one way into that cell, and that was through the door. Now, there was a porthole for her to look out, and you can see that she is there. She was in their cell, and they sailed off into the sea. Now they had their mermaid. All they had to do was get a tear from her, and they decided that the best way to get that tear was just to kidnap her. Once they had her kidnapped, she would be away from her family and her friends, and she would feel homesick. So now that they've been out to sea for several weeks, it's time to go down and get that mermaid. Bring her up, see that she is nice and sad, and then we will be able to get the tears from that mermaid. We'll get those tears from that mermaid, and then we'll be able to find the greatest treasure ever known, Blackbeard's treasure. The Dread Pirate Jones will now have the treasure because he's got all he needs. He's got the map and he's got the mermaid. Now all he has to do is collect that tear. And our mermaid is gone. Well, mermaids are slippery creatures. She's slipped her bonds and climbed out that porthole window, and she's gone. So the Dread Pirate Jones will never ever be able to find Blackbeard's treasure. He can look high and he can look low. He can look everywhere he wants. But until he finds that slippery mermaid and gets that tear, he'll never be able to find that treasure. Now, if you happen to find a mermaid and you can get a tear, maybe you too can find the lost treasure.